Fall protection and rescue harness training. Accidents happen. Why are harnesses important?
Full-body harnesses are to be used as components in personal fall arrest systems. Personal fall arrest systems typically include the full-body harness in use with a connecting subsystem like a shock-absorbing lanyard or retractable SRL. The harnesses shown in this video meet ANSI and OSHA requirements for fall arrest, fall restraint, work positioning, personnel riding, climbing, or rescue applications. We chose these models and styles to demonstrate the correct donning and inspection procedures you need to perform to ensure that your full-body harness continues to meet legislative requirements. Your particular style will be very similar to one of the 7 you'll be introduced to further on in this video. Every harness must be inspected on a regular basis. It must be inspected before each use by the intended user and on an annual basis by a second competent person. The results of the inspection must be recorded and logged for future reference. There are 5 steps towards ensuring your harness and its hardware pass the inspection. First, inspect the harness's hardware as shown. Buckles, D-rings, back pad, and loop keepers must not be damaged, broken, or distorted. They must also be free of sharp edges, burrs, cracks, worn parts, or corrosion. PVC-coated hardware must be free of cuts, rips, and holes in the coating to ensure non-conductivity. Be sure all the buckles work freely by testing the buckle springs. Now inspect the harness webbing for frays, cuts, or broken fibers. Also check for tears, abrasions, mold, burns, or any signs of discoloration. Be sure to inspect all the labels. They must all be present and fully legible. Inspect each system component or subsystem according to manufacturer's instructions. Record the inspection date and your results in the iSafe portal or in the company inspection and maintenance log. Check off the inspection box on the label attached to the harness. If the full-body harness has been subjected to a fall or impact forces, it must be immediately removed from service. Extreme working conditions in harsh environments or prolonged use may also require increasing the frequency of your inspections. Before donning any harness on your work site, be sure it's a proper fit. Check the harness color coding label to determine your ideal size. A harness that's too big may not provide you with the proper protection in the event of a fall. A harness that's too small will be uncomfortable to wear and may also cause injury in the event of a fall.
Falls involving suspension. Procedures to follow.
What is suspension trauma? Well, when a person hangs in a harness, they're hanging in an upright position and their body is dependent and gravity pulls the blood down. If that occurs for more than 3 minutes, and sometimes within 20 minutes, a lot of changes can occur. These include hypoxia, which is lack of oxygen in the blood, hypoxemia, again, a lack of nutrients because the blood is dependent. You get ventricular fibrillation. You can get syncope. Syncope is where the person passes out, becomes unconscious. And there's also injuries that can occur to the liver and kidneys and other body organs. This is a very serious problem.
How to avoid complications from fall suspension. Step 1. Use your alert system. Retrieve your whistle from your harness and sound it to notify others of your emergency. Step 2. Attempt self-rescue. Remain calm. Try to self-rescue, such as returning to the platform, or pull yourself onto racking, if safe to do so. If self-rescue is not successful, deploy trauma straps. Deploying suspension trauma straps.
Hey, I'm Jim, and today we're here to talk about the DBI Sala suspension trauma safety straps. Suspension trauma can occur after a worker falls and is hanging in their harness. The pressure of the harness's leg straps can cause blood to pool in the veins in the legs, which can result in unconsciousness. If the worker isn't rescued promptly, serious injury or death can occur since the trauma can happen quickly. These suspension trauma straps allow the worker to stand up in the harness and relieve the pressure from their legs. The straps come as a pair and are compact and lightweight. They are easily attached to almost any harness size, style, and brand. In the event of a fall, the packs can be quickly unzipped, causing the straps to deploy. Then the worker stands up in the straps to take pressure off their legs.
Okay, we're going to give you a short demonstration on how to use and deploy your trauma straps in the event you have a fall off a module. Very important, trauma straps are mandatory on all the harnesses. You should have a loop side and a hook side. It states it right on the case. Make sure you have one of each. Make sure that they're attached correctly to your harness. If you have any issues, you can contact any PIE member. We can help you with that. Okay, to deploy the straps, you would just simply unzip the case, drop it to your side. In my case, I have mine pre-marked. As you notice, there's different loops for different leg lengths. Okay, for me, mine is about the third one up off the bottom. It's what works comfortable for me to stand on. To use this, there's a loop on this side. You have your hook on this side. You want to attach them together, like so, and you stand on them. When you stand on these and you're suspended in the air, it takes the pressure off these straps, which allows circulation in your legs.
Fall suspension rescue procedures. Stop. Evaluate. Assess the situation. Look for loss of consciousness and/or possible injury. Call 911. Communicate. Get help first whenever possible. Don't rush into it. If fall subject is unable to perform self-rescue, consider the following assisted rescue options. Using the pressure release valve. Only trained and authorized team members are to access the emergency manual release valve, if safe to do so. Use caution. Turn the valve gradually to allow the platform to lower slowly. Using other power equipment. Only trained and authorized team members are to operate power equipment to provide assistance, if safe to do so. Step 1. Use your alert system and sound it to notify others of your emergency. Step 2. Attempt self-rescue. Remain calm. If self-rescue is not successful, deploy trauma straps. Stop. Evaluate. Assess the situation. Look for loss of consciousness and/or possible injury. Using the pressure release valve. Only trained and authorized team members are to access the emergency manual release valve, if safe to do so. Immediate post-rescue procedures. Recovery position. Kneeling or seated in a W position. Feet close to the buttocks like a cannonball. Pumping the legs back and forth will ease the blood flow back into the body. Any subsequent positional changes, such as transition into a seated or horizontal position, must be conducted very slowly. Recovery position. Kneeling or seated in a W position. Feet close to the buttocks like a cannonball. Pumping the legs back and forth will ease the blood flow back into the body. Any subsequent positional changes, such as transition into a seated or horizontal position, must be conducted very slowly. After the emergency rescue has been conducted, ensure proper care is taken by competent personnel prior to moving a rescue fall subject. Fall subjects must undergo a physical evaluation at the clinic immediately after rescue. If subject declines evaluation at the clinic, management will contact MD Life to review and assess the case to ensure subject can safely return to work. Management and team members will conduct a safety and power equipment investigation of all fall suspension incidents to develop and implement corrective action plans to address any deficiencies. One last thing. Please remember to be safe. Thank you.